If you can dream it, it can become your reality. Welcome to Dream Catchers, where we meet entrepreneurs who have left their home country to move to Costa Rica and start a business in paradise. These are real people and their real stories behind following their dreams to a little Central American paradise and how they made it work despite the odds. Welcome to Dream Catchers Costa Rica.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Dream Catchers Costa Rica. We are talking today to Steve and Lisa Quinn, who own Go Fish here in Tamarindo, Costa Rica. Thank you so much for being part of the show today.
Thanks for having us.
Awesome. Well, we're going to ask a few questions. We're going to start with the number one question. When did you move to Costa Rica and why?
Well, we moved here in 2011 full time, but we've been coming here since 2004, and we used to visit once a year for a week, and then the next year it was like twice a year for a week, and then the next year it was for 2 weeks, and then yes, we just fell in love with the place.
That's so good. Can you tell me when you first started visiting Costa Rica?
It was in, I think it was what, 2004, wasn't it?
Yeah, somewhere in around 2004, 2005. I'd never been anywhere, ever.
Like out of Canada?
Anywhere. I'd never traveled.
She was not a traveler.
Anywhere.
Did you have a passport?
Never let her out of the house.
I had nothing. I hadn't seen my own province. And then Steve, for years we were trying to get away, but something always came up. And then finally he's like, okay, that's it. Anywhere you want to go, anywhere. That's where we're going. We're going this year. And I'm like, Costa Rica. But back then it really wasn't heard of.
Sure.
It was like one flight a year coming down, and the plane was empty.
Oh my gosh.
And we kind of started a trend with our back when we used travel agents.
Yeah.
Started a trend with her, and
here we are. That's wild. That's a good story. When you came down here, did you have an idea of what you wanted to do? Was there an inspiration behind Go Fish? I know that you had been involved in other businesses as well, if you want to talk a little bit about that as well.
Well, when we first decided to move down here, I had it in my head that we would run a restaurant and a bar on the beach.
all his idea.
Which didn't prove to be very successful. Well, I mean, it was a very successful business, but it wasn't a good spot for us to be in.
Got it.
It was like...
Did you have previous food and beverage experience?
No.
Okay. Do you think that maybe that was part of the reason?
In all fairness, we took the restaurant and bar that we had and we turned it into one of the #1 spots here, but it was just very demanding on us.
Sure.
It was keeping, us away from each other too much in the day, and it just proved to be not the reason we wanted to be here.
No, understood. And then the transition to Go Fish once the restaurant was out of
Yeah, once we walked away from the restaurant.
We had the restaurant, and then we got a bed and breakfast with Go Fish, and we had all three things going at once.
Oh wow.
For a while there.
That's a full plate.
It was a full plate.
So then you started kind of getting rid of the
Yeah, we thought, okay, let's get out of the restaurant thing. We had a bed and breakfast, and it kind of worked in conjunction with Go Fish. And then the Go Fish, we saw that we could take it to another level and started offering people tours and stuff based on, we knew that when we started coming here that we weren't able to get, let's face it, everybody will show you a beautiful picture of what you're gonna do, yet that didn't work out as planned.
Sure.
So we wanted to put something together where through our own experience we could offer to people and say, listen, this is what you're going to get. We vetted all these tours, these boats, and we just felt comfortable knowing that the people at the end of the day were able to get what we thought was the best experience while they were visiting.
So tell us about Go Fish, precisely how it started, how it's evolved, and what you offer to your clients.
When we first started Go Fish, it was strictly mainly for fishing, then evolved into tours, and our deal was to make sure that we were being able to offer people the best tours out there, the best boats. I mean, let's face it, everybody, if you go to a company and want to rent a boat, their whole purpose is to get you on their boat.
For sure.
Me, the whole purpose for me is to get you on a boat that we think best suits you.
For sure. And can you explain a little bit behind that? Like, for example, do you mean based on group size, on experience? How do you figure out which boat you're going to send your clients?
All that. I mean, if some mom and dad that's first time to Costa Rica and they want to take their boys 5 and 7 out fishing and the boys have never gone out, then we want to make sure that we're putting them on a boat with a captain, and maybe the captain's a father himself.
Sure.
He's got young kids and he knows how to, you know,
Keep them occupied
and get them excited. You know, we want them to go from are we there already to are you know, what do you mean we're done already?
Yeah.
You know, like we want them to, and again then there's experience. If there's these pro guys that want to come down here and go fishing, then we have captains and certain boats in place set up for the pros.
For sure. Well, and I assume that budget is a consideration as well.
Yeah, budget plays into it.
We're very hands-on, very personal with our clients. So when we talk to them, we ask them a million questions so that we can process of elimination. We're like, okay, these are the best captains, mates, boats that'll accommodate
So
you.
if somebody goes on your website and they want to book, and you kind of have like an intake questionnaire, if you will, or you ask them questions.
Yeah.
And that's how you basically are putting them together with the correct.
Yeah, when they get on our website, they will usually send us a contact us email, and then we will take that email and send them off like a standardized type thing that asks questions and answers questions, and then it'll break things down so that the client has got certain information in place, thinking, okay, yes, this will work for us, but we'll also look at it like, I know you're looking at this boat, but it wouldn't be maybe the best for you having, you know, your wife and daughter, because this boat doesn't have a washer.
So in terms of hours of operation, this is a type of business that basically is open all year long. Do you take a day off? How does that work?
Yeah, it is our busiest day of the year is Christmas.
Yeah.
You know,
Us
like
too.
when people are out wanting to have a day off and vacation is when we are busy.
For sure.
So there's no 9 to 5. There's, you know, we try to put a vacation responder on at the end of a day, but you know what? It's one of those things that we have to, if a call comes in or an email, we have to respond to it, because if we don't, somebody else will. You know what I mean? So we have
Absolutely right.
We have
You sound
to.
like me.
We have to take care of them, you know, and you know, like we might have somebody from the UK where it's 9 o'clock in the morning there, but I mean it's. So you just have to be open all the time, you know.
That's awesome.
So.
Is there a reason that you decided to basically plant roots here in Tamarindo? What made Tamarindo special, or the right place for you and your business?
Well,
Over the years of coming down here, prior to moving here, we got to know so many locals from the area. So we had kind of family away from family, so to speak. So
plus
just
it also offered, I mean, most people that come down to Costa Rica, they're going to maybe 1 or 2 or 3 different locations for fishing. Tamarindo is kind of like a go-to spot for people that want to fish. People want, you know, different activities to do while they're visiting Costa Rica. It's just a spot that's kind of that everybody was coming to, and if we want to survive in business, we have to go where the people are.
Sure. Well, it's a great home base.
Yeah.
For a lot of other activities too.
Yeah, so I mean, it just happened to be the spot for us to run this particular business.
This is my favorite question. What are the challenges that you have encountered in running businesses in Costa Rica? You already touched a little bit upon the restaurant mishap, but what do you feel like overall might be surprising to someone thinking about starting a business here?
Well, I mean, it all looks easy enough, and you know, don't get me wrong. I mean, like things kind of did come easy. Most of it, like, you know, just to go and start a business and stuff like that was viable. But if you want to do things by the books and you know, have everything in place, I mean, you've got to find a good accountant.
For sure.
You got to have an attorney. You have to have bank accounts and
patience.
You just don't walk into a bank and say, okay, I want to open up a bank account. I mean, now you gotta take that attorney and that accountant and get them to hold your hand and walk in and,
I always tell my clients that don't plan to do more than one thing per day.
Yeah.
And,
Well-
if you accomplish one thing per day, you're doing great.
exactly, that's the
And
same
so
as
I
me.
think sometimes if we lower our standards a little bit, we won't get.
That's
so
right.
irritated.
Like back in Canada, I would get up on a Saturday morning with a list of 5 or 6 things that I would go out and do. And to do that same list here would take me like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I get it.
And if I can get one thing done in a day, I'm happy, even if it's just a haircut and it's her cutting my hair. It's like,
Well, that's easy. Despite the challenges, are you happy to have the business that you have?
honey,
Yeah, I mean, well, we're here still. We're in our 11th year down here, and you know, we've met so many nice people over the years. Many of them that we've become great friends. We're still in contact with them, like a lot, a lot of repeat clients, and you know, it's fun.
it's been very
good.
fulfilling.
It's a
It
lot
really
of work,
has.
Oh yeah.
but it's
Makes
fun.
me feel good. That's awesome. Did you ever dream that the business would get this popular, that you would be so busy? Was that ever on the radar for you?
It was a hope. And
Yeah, it was
we
always a
wanted
hope.
it.
I mean, everything we've always did in life, we've succeeded at, but this is really, it really did
Boom.
succeed and go over our wildest expectations, like.
So my other question for you is Spanish. So did you know Spanish when you came here? Or if not,
Spanglish?
how have you picked up your Spanish? How do you communicate with your folks?
In Canada, I think we just got our first Taco Bell just when we were coming down here.
You
I
know,
mean-
it's a poor, very poor excuse, but we live in Tamarindo. Everybody speaks English.
Yeah.
All of our clientele speak English, and you know, not for lack of trying.
Right.
I mean, we've tried taking Spanish lessons a few times, but we
I
live
get kicked out of class.
Yeah.
Aw,
Yeah.
you should
Well,
keep
that's a
trying.
whole other story. I
gonna
did
bring
have
you
his
pri-
attention for a little while.
I'm gonna bring
there.
a private tutor to you. And we can continue
But no,
this.
it's you know, myself, I know enough to get by.
Our Spanglish is not bad.
Yeah, Spanish.
We can get by. I understand most conversations, and even when I'm talking, sometimes I'll get a chuckle out of somebody because you know I've said the wrong thing.
Well,
But
A for effort, they say.
they appreciate the fact that at least I'm trying.
You are
yeah,
trying.
that's one of the things
fun.
I love about the Ticos, because you know there's places where you go and if you try to speak their language,
Yeah.
they're insulted because you're not doing it right. Here, I mean, you get into a game of charades just to get your point across, and they never make you feel stupid.
No,
You know, it's
that's true. I do feel that here. In terms of your backgrounds, can you tell us a little bit about your background? I know that you're obviously a licensed captain, where you're from originally, and all that good stuff.
Well, originally we're from a little town called Buckhorn, Ontario, in Ontario, Canada. I was a licensed contractor. I'm a carpenter by trade. I've been fishing for over 50 years, whether it be creeks or lakes or whatever up in our hometown. And
you're old.
yeah, 50 years. But and you know, we lived in a little town, and Lisa, she's a licensed hairstylist, but
You wouldn't know. but-
she worked in a a heavy equipment rental company in our little town where we lived, and hey, we came from there down to here just to
doing absolutely nothing that we did back home.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But that's good because you
we
made
just wanted to try something different.
Yeah, nothing
know,
wrong with that.
No,
Yeah, even though it's a big change, right?
it is a big change, and plus our little town we live in back home, this town of Tamarindo is like 4
It's a
times
city.
bigger
That's true.
than where we're from.
So another question, what do you do for fun when you're not working? Everybody always wants to know, right?
Well, I mean, we're homebodies. On a day off, if we get one, we enjoy just laying around the backyard in the pool,
Yeah. And fishing?
fishing,
Fishing.
Fishing.
getting, you know, like
Fishing,
putting on some
ATVs.
music videos and maybe having a couple of beverages around the pool, or
Baking?
Road trips, well, baking.
road
that's-
trips,
that's-
ATVs, getting out fishing or on the catamaran.
That's an everyday thing.
Yes.
You know, one of the things is I do find that we've become used to the country and what it has to offer, and we've started to take it for granted. We got to start finding some more time to get back out and explore, because
Absolutely.
you know, we have gotten to the point where we're not going out and seeing a lot of the things we should be seeing, but
Sure. Well, because
Well,
you know,
it's-
Costa Rica's a small country, but there's so much to see.
there is.
Well, we haven't even put a dent in the things to see or do in this little country. You
I'm
know,
gonna
it's
make you a
like-
list.
There is so many things to do.
Absolutely. I agree. In terms of the business, do you like where you're at now? Do you have any, you know, ideas to expand in the future?
We could definitely expand, and we've thought about expanding. We've been approached by people that maybe want to take and franchise what we have out. But Lisa and I, we take what we do very serious, and we like to be personal.
We don't want to lose
Yeah,
that.
personal touch.
You
If
get
we
too
start getting
big,
too big, then we're taking away from something.
For sure.
So we
like
just
we meet all of our clients before every charter. We touch base with them at the end of every day, see how they did, and get their input. We meet clients, you know, as soon as they get here from the airport, the day they leave, before every activity, like,
So they know who Steve and Lisa are.
Yes.
Okay. That's
Yes.
good to know because a lot of people do care about that.
Yeah, no, it's something like we say, we take serious. We thought about expansion, but at this point, we're happy and we're content with the way it is.
we'd have to
To be
clone
honest with you.
ourselves to do it where we were, be happy doing it.
How do you feel that Costa Rica has changed over the years? Obviously, you got here in 2004, and things were a lot different then because I arrived in 2006, and I mean, I saw massive changes from that
We've
point. So, what do you
seen
feel
it.
has changed most here?
It has grown so much, like.
The
well,
roads, first of all.
Yeah,
The roads.
agree.
But there's just so many people now, like it's just so well known that just the tourists and the amount of people that come now and the building. You
The
know,
secret's out.
the
Secret's out.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing. I mean, if you want to start a business or run a business, I mean, we need those people.
Of course.
And no,
Although part of the charm was that rustic,
Yeah.
you know, like the big ass fans in the old airport.
Yeah.
You know,
Not all of us got to experience that.
no, I mean, it was
We
pretty
did.
cool when you
Yeah.
first come here, you land a plane and there was a cow alongside of the
I
runway.
know. I call it the glorified hangar because it's basically
You know, but I mean,
so.
yeah, there's been a lot of change. A lot of it's been good. A lot of it has been a little different. I mean, like, we've got good internet and that around here
Yes.
now. I mean, like, lots of good places to shop and
Good
stuff.
food.
Good,
Oh,
excellent
good
food
Excellent
here in
food. There's a
Costa
lot of
Rica.
great food in Tamarindo.
We love the food
in the
here.
country. I
Awesome.
love the food in this country.
Well, I want to thank you both for being on the show. I really, really appreciate giving you giving us insight on Go Fish and your family and your background and your insights. And yeah, I hope to have you guys back here again.
Oh, thank you for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Yeah. And for you out there, hopefully you will be subscribing and watching
And fishing.
and fishing
And fishing.
and liking Dream Catchers. Thanks so much, guys. Pura vida.